Type R Civic R05398.
This exact model.
This is the 5039
5,398. You forgot how to number.
The Autophiles.
So first time in a long time we're doing a manual car.
Yeah.
And it's the right car to have a manual.
Oh yeah, this is like a proper car. Just because a car is manual doesn't... I have a Jaguar Mark II. 4-speed manual. No fun, man. No fun. This is a proper car to have manual. This is a Civic Type R.
This one is FK8.
Okay, I'm not so good with the chassis number and model number of Hondas really, and I have not been looking at Hondas for a long time because
you've never owned Honda?
I have never owned a Honda. I think there's a good reason. Honda from the 90s is bad boy, man. Huh? Bad boy.
Oh, pirated VCDs.
You gotta have
the line a little bit.
You gotta have karat hair, and then you gotta have some tattoo on your body, and you gotta pull out your phone. You gotta talk like that one. Then you own Honda lah. First impression. Yeah. I mean seriously, Honda could have toned down a little bit in the looks department. I mean, you were saying that all these creases and extra bits and pieces at the back all are functional. Yeah. I mean, there are better ways to do functional aerodynamic. I felt that it was a little bit overdone. And it was, on top of that, it is attached, all these bits are attached to a model of Civics that is already a little bit bonkers in its design. A little bit too busy. But looks is not everything. I mean, when you're looking at a Civic Type R, it's not all about the looks. It's never about the looks, it's about the drive. It's about the drive. Type R has a special place because they are special. You can't take a normal Civic, plonk in a this is what, a K20. Yeah. It's not that simple. The steering, the suspension, the chassis rigidity, a lot of things have to change. Some of which is impossible. You can change the suspension parts, of course you can, but you can't modify the chassis unless you roll cage it. Then the car is completely something else altogether. I've never put Type R on the pedestal. Right. I treated Type R as another product that is in line with a lot of other products that is available in Japan at that time. But I think Type R gained that special pedestal position is because a lot of time Honda does what BMW does. They take a normal car, they don't change the outlook, and then they made it special from the inside. Whereas Nissan only does this to their sports model. So it's already a sports car. Yeah. And then you add all sorts of stabilizer bar and chassis strengthening and then plonk a huge turbo and give it a robust engine. Yeah. So it doesn't feel that special because it already starts from something already special. Whereas Honda starts from something really pedestrian. You see your mother driving a normal Civic, you see your auntie driving a Civic, and then suddenly you drive something that looks similar on the outside but completely different on the inside. And I think that's where the reputation comes from. Honda makes it trickle down. Yes,
they really did that more successfully than anyone. Way more. I mean, you look at that Civic.
That's right there.
They designed that Civic so they can eventually make it into this.
That guy feels like a hero probably, but that car and this car, you can't take that and turn it into this. There's nothing you can do. Because I mean, this is what you get with BMW as well. I mean, the M cars are different from the non-Ms. You can plonk the biggest engine into a normal BMW, but it's still not an M.
You can give it an M Sport body kit, it's still not an M.
It's still not an M. Whatever is, when I come in here, I open up the chassis, I open up the bonnet, I investigate the chassis and the seam and the welding, I rev on it. A lot of it brings back a lot of memory. It brings me back to the early 2000s, mid 2000s when I used to own a Silvia S15 Spec R. It's very similar, it's just a bit more modern, more electronics, more creature comfort, the notchy short throw gearbox, the suspension that when you close the door it just goes never really settling into itself, it just goes like every molecule is just vibrating. I think about 2 inches higher than I would sit in a Silvia, but my goodness, it's really bringing back all the memories. However, I have to say it's more dailyable than those sports cars, because those sports cars, I was sitting at the back just now, this is a real seats at the back. You can really put adult at the back, and if you were to be a bit more cautious with your driving, you can
put your children in.
You can. In fact, let's put it back into comfort mode, right? They retard the throttle response.
Yeah.
The steering response. Oh, this is Honda steering.
steering.
One finger. Okay, like maybe two finger. This is a two finger. I can put it into comfort. I drive it like a normal person. Maybe an auntie would judge me. Yeah, why you put so many body kit? You childish. But other than that,
Which branch of brothers did you go to?
I think modernizing of Japanese 90s sports car, I think it continues in the same tradition of the great 90s Japanese sports car, but they modernized it a lot. They made it a lot more easy to live with, a lot more creature comfort, and I think that's a good thing. But they maintain that madness when you step on it.
Performance?
Okay, let's go into performance, man. Wow, facts boy!
306 horsepower.
Torque is what?
400 Newton meters of torque.
Oh wow, that's a lot.
Surprisingly, the 0 to 100 time is not that fast.
5 seconds?
5.8.
Oh, that's slow, man.
Slow, yeah.
Power-wise, 306 horses, right?
Yeah.
You want to say a lot is not a lot.
It's not a lot.
Every other car today go for 250 horses.
Yeah. Even a mid to low spec tune Volvo will give you 250.
Correct. And with the twin clutch gearbox, ZF gearbox, or whatever modern gearboxes, actually, I mean, they give you crazy figures.
But the delivery of the power here is good, right?
Okay, so first of all is the figure itself. The figure itself, 306. A lot for a front-wheel drive car, to be honest. Way too much. I'm surprised that they can put it down to the road. A lot of power for a front-wheel drive car, but by today's standard, to be honest, it's not neck-breaking. In fact, I was never pushed back into my seat at all in this car, right? The delivery was gradual.
It's more of an experience to drive it.
Yes.
We have driven cars that are more powerful than this.
A lot more.
And they're so scary to drive.
Scary, man. Your hands are sweating. You know, you are on the brake all the time.
Yes. This car is one of the few, which is, I would genuinely say, of all the front-wheel drive cars I've driven, this is close to crazy. Yeah. But I never feel scared driving this car. The only time I feel slightly scared is when I misjudge how big the front is. Because it is a proper C-segment sedan, and you can't see the end of the hood. Unlike a lot of 90s cars where you can estimate properly. Here it's like you don't realize, oh shoot, the hood is all the way at the end there. You know? So only when you're halfway through a turn, then you realize, oh, the car is a bit too close, then you might do an adjustment. But it never feels like it might get out of your hands, you know?
Its steering is so precise, and the weight is just done perfectly.
Perfect, man. I never had a Honda this perfect in steering.
Yes, I have had almost this perfect. S2000. Feedback is beautiful, very well done. That is in terms of the steering. In terms of the power delivery, you do not get that old VTEC. No, you don't. You gotta say goodbye to that. Not much horsepower from 0 to about 2000 RPM. But after that, it's a very linear, very gradual push all the way up to 7000 RPM. You never have a sudden pop VTEC. Don't have. It's just gradual, and I like it. Honda boys may not appreciate it because it's a departure from the way Honda Type Rs were tuned in the past. But this makes the car a lot more controllable.
And probably faster around the track.
It is. I'm pretty sure it is actually damn fast around the track.
We've driven faster cars. I'm sure the Volkswagen Golf R, whatever shit it is, it probably can outdo this car, but it doesn't feel this engaging.
No, man. Exactly. I mean, you know, a lot of people talk about slow car fast. Like driving a slow car fast is more fun than driving like a Ferrari where you're scared of your life all the time. Definitely true, but this is not a slow car. No, it's not a slow car. It has more power than you need. Of course, we are talking about power curve. It's not readily available. It's not like that. But sports car is meant to be like this. Power doesn't come like that. Because if a power comes like that, you'll be spinning all over the place in the track. Power needs to be gradual. Power needs to be progressive. And this car does that perfectly. It has more power than you need, but just make sure you're in the right gear. It will give you, it will reward you. But more importantly, it is completely within your control. It does everything you want. Never for once I feel scared or not in control. And here's the thing, my palms are completely dry.
Mine are sweaty.
My palms are completely dry, and I was doing crazy stuff there. Performance, to be honest, whether it's 285, 306, it doesn't really matter. It's how it is delivered.
The suspension tuning, the steering feedback, so good.
So good. the level of control, the gearbox. If I want to complain, I can complain a little bit. The notch is not as certain. There's a bit of vagueness sometimes, but when you get used to it, it is a minor complaint.
It takes at least half an hour to get used to it.
Right.
The left side is a little bit vague.
Right.
First, second.
The first and second gear was a bit vague. Even until now, it's still. Once you get into third, fourth, fifth, sixth, it's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. Sixth gear rarely in it. I think only on the highway. I would prefer to have a manual handbrake, and I can foresee that if you want to make any modification, if you want, maybe the clutch may make it a little bit more engaging. However, the price to pay is that in traffic,
you won't be able to use it. But yeah, otherwise it's such a easy car to daily as well.
Yeah.
Huge, I mean, pretty good boot.
Yes, rear seats are real. Front, this is a bucket seat, but it doesn't feel uncomfortable. It doesn't lock you in. I'm quite big.
The only thing I complain is there's no headrest adjustment.
Well,
so you have
bucket seats are like that. Performance from a comfort point of view, I have to say this is a 5 out of 5. Performance from a performance car point of view, this is a 4.5 out of 5.
It's almost a 5. It's like a 4.75.
There you go. Yeah. So overall, it's a 4.75 out of 5 for me.
Fantastic.
Between the two categories, your comfort is perfect. I don't expect a performance car to deliver this level of comfort. Seriously.
Design. I think this is where we're going to differ in opinion a lot. So you don't like the design so much?
It's a hatchback. It's a bit different from the one we get here, right?
Gigantic spoiler in the back.
It's a bit embarrassing, man. I mean, I'm a 36-year-old man. I can't be driving around something that looks like that. The front is okay. It's beautiful. It's good looking. It's handsome. But the back is just a little bit overdone for me.
It's quite nice to see that Honda is not shy to do it.
Right.
You know, to just...
It's confidence.
It's confidence. This is what Honda does. This one is like really embracing their roots and even though it's not
shy about performance.
And if you want a clean looking sports car, there's so many European manufacturers.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying. And I feel it too. I agree to a very large extent because they're not shy about performance and there's nothing wrong with performance.
And you think about it, in the Golf R, you are paying close to 300,000.
Right.
And nobody knows you paid 300,000. They think you bought a Golf. This one is like, I paid 300,000. Look at the trophy I'm carrying on the back.
Tying the trophy to your head.
It's like going full Mad Max.
Yeah, but aunties may judge you lah. Auntie may think, why go and buy all these things and put it in your car? Can you go back to normal?
The NVH and the build quality and the way it closes and the Alcantara, it feels like it's pretending to be a European sports car.
Interior is where it fails also. I personally think because you know what, it has cheapness of Honda.
Yes.
You have stitches, leather stitching,
fake stitching,
fake leather stitching on the inside from Honda CR-V. Then you slap on top of it some fake carbon fiber with red trim.
There's a texture, but it just looks...
Yeah, it looks fake, man. Even if it's real, then it's really sad. It was a little bit overdone.
Yeah.
It could have been simpler. So you have a red color Alcantara here, then you have a black color Alcantara here.
Here on the...
So confusing. Oh yeah, and here, black Alcantara.
And then these seats are red, but the back seats are
normal.
Almost standard.
It's standard ones, right?
Red stitching only, that's all.
And red seat belts. Color coordination is a little bit out.
Yeah. The interior, I think they could have just paid a bit more attention to it.
But I like the fact that they kept to the original Type R knob. Yeah, this is the full metal knob. Completely unusable in Malaysia under heat.
Boil your hand.
But it does not matter! Type R!
It's so practical as interior. Because today I had a lot of running around doing my insurance and all that. And I had like a lot of things to carry.
Yeah.
And every single thing I carried, my hands were full, my pockets were full. Everything has a place to store.
Right.
Behind here, there's a place to store. On top here, in the center console, in the door cards, there's just so much storage space.
It has a utilitarianism that of a normal car, road-going car, which is amazing, man, for a sports car. Even for a lot of premium car these days, the whole interior was meant to show off. Right? Not meant for you to put cubby holes for things and storage holes for your keys and whatnot. You know, but this is so utilitarian. Even the Proton X70 could have been done with a little bit more thought in ergonomics on the interior. But yeah, other than that, looks. Exterior?
Exterior, 3.5.
I'll give it a 3 lah. I don't hate it, but a bit embarrassing. But
from some angles, you can see what they're going for.
Okay.
It really looks like a Gundam.
If you say so. Interior, I wouldn't be so mean to it. I'll just give it a 3.
3,
I don't really hate it, but you know, it could have been done better.
Value. Okay, so this car came in at about 320, 330.
Oh, that hurts, man.
They built it in the UK, they import here. I'm not surprised if almost 100,000 of that is just taxes.
Of course.
Honda Malaysia couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah.
I think if it was really up to them, they wouldn't bring it in.
320,000.
Too many options out there.
Too many options out there. You can go mid-range premium car already.
You can, 5 Series is this price.
Well, you don't get the involvement and the performance, but then, you know, 5 Series, man.
Yeah. It's tough to justify.
It's hard. It's hard.
Yeah. And your direct competitors are all cheaper. The Golf R is cheaper. The Megane RS also was around 2 something, less than 300.
Right.
Or touching 300.
Right.
This was the most expensive in the segment.
Right.
Of course, you can say that, oh, this is the fastest in the segment.
Yeah. So this is the most involving or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, and it could be true. I would say that actually, if you drive it like a regular person, the fuel consumption is not bad.
Yeah, I can imagine, man.
This kind of performance, I don't expect any car
to have good,
or even decent.
Yeah.
I expect the fuel gauge to be constantly running down.
Right.
But
this is reasonable, man.
Yeah, it's reasonable. Only when you really whack it, then you see it dropping down fast.
Because below 3,000 RPM, this car is relatively gutless. And because of the gutlessness, you can drive it below 3,000 RPM in city environment. I think in a very almost normal car-like experience, isn't it?
So value actually,
it's a 2. It's a bit hard to justify, but we love the car, so I'm gonna give it 1 extra star. Overall, it's a 4 out of 5, man.
It is.
Yeah, it's a 4 out of 5.
Performance is almost full mark.
Yeah.
Everything else
is irrelevant because it's a performance car. But of course, price is real issue. Well, nothing you can do, lah. That's the way it is. You know, you gotta give and take. Sometimes you can't get everything. But nonetheless, a sports car it is, man. It's amazing. It's so focused in performance.
Yeah.
So accurate, man. Yeah. Acura.
That's where they got the name.
Autophiles signing out. Civic Type R. I mean, look at Japan, right, in the 90s. Completely mad. Whatever body shape, we were just talking about Corolla 101, and then you have a Corolla, you have a Coupe, then you have a Cirrus. Yeah, completely mad nonsense, right?
They just don't have that kind of money anymore.
Huh? You think so?
I think so.
They're churning out sports car everywhere. Everywhere you turn,
segment.
You have performance. Yeah, you have performance Japanese sports car. You don't see them now. So sad. Even Honda after 2000 went anti, right?